You know, I feel that every good shop needs a drill press. And this is a benchtop model right here that I'd normally have on a piece of plywood and then I'd clamp it to a work surface. But I have an accessory stand. Freestanding, benchtop, both are worth having. The freestanding usually have a bigger swing. Swing is the distance from the column to the center of the chuck. In other words, this has a 5-inch swing, which means it can drill to the center of a 10-inch circle, and so on swing. But let's talk about tuning up a drill press. There's really not too much to this. The single most important thing on a versatile drill press is making sure that the table is square to the chuck. And to do that, you want a good flat drill bit. You roll it on the table, and it should not wobble. It should be flat, and that's good and straight. You bring the bit up into the chuck, okay, and tighten it down. And this is the most important thing on a drill press. Use the key on the 3 holes. There's 1, 2, 3. Rotate it around to each hole, because that way, when you lock that bit in place, that centers the bit up and keeps it balanced. Now, the other thing that's really important is look at the speed range here on the pulleys. Now, a lot of drill presses work on pulley drives and belts like this. And you can see here's a speed chart. And don't forget, there's a printable file already in the library that gives you the speed ranges for various sized drill bits and different activities on the drill press. But to change the belt speed, what you want to do is first check out the tool. In this case, this is a 1/4-inch bit, and we want to run this at 1720 revolutions per minute. To adjust this, release the lock on the motor, pull the motor forward, and carefully work the belt off of the smaller end of the pulley. Now go to the spindle speed chart. In this case, it's in the middle of the pulley on the back and in the middle of the pulley on the front. And it's really important that the belt stays on the same plane. You don't want the belt coming up at an angle. That would be bad. That would give you vibration and wear out the belt. Now, put a little tension on the motor. That way, that takes the flex out of the belt. And now my speed range is set for general drilling work. And now, to check to see if the table's square, I use a square to that straight bit, check it in both dimensions, and we're in business. And this has a tilting table. You can use a wrench down here to tilt this. Use an angle gauge to set it up for, say, drilling holes in the work pieces for legs or chairs, stools, things like that. So that's how we tune this guy up. And when you do that, make sure that it's unplugged. That's very important for safety. Never touch the pulley system when it's plugged in. It's turned off. It's ready to get into it. And let's start by just simply drilling one hole. And it's really important on small work pieces to clamp the workpiece to the table. And I like to use the vice grip clamps for that. That way I don't have to get my fingers close to the spinning bit. That's right on center. And this is a really handy feature right here. This is a depth stop. Has a lock right here. You release the lock and you can dial in your depth. And in this case, I'll set it at 1/2 of an inch. But to do that, I have to lower the drill bit to the surface. Now, from the surface, I'll dial this 1/2 of an inch in, holding it down and locking it in place carefully. And now that's how you can set the drill stop to stop the holes as you drill it. Now, let's make a cut, and I'll show you a couple other things you can do on a drill press. Perfect. Okay. Now, it's that simple. A good drill press also allows you to bore big holes with Forstner bits or use circle cutters. Another technique that you can use is clamp a straight board along the back edge of the drill press table, and this allows you to drill holes in a straight line. You can drill accurately at 90 degrees, or you can adjust the table for other angled holes. The drill press also can be used as a great sanding system. You can use a series of flap wheel sanders or accessory sanding drums of varying grits to profile edges beautifully.